Hi, I'm Kerry Batson, Batson Enterprises, head sales here, and Bob's nephew, Uncle Bob there. We're here today to start wrapping the rod that we have going on here, which is an SP781-2. Looks like Mike's got all the guides taped on. Everybody's straight. And we can go ahead and start our thread windings. We're going to use the Batson hand wrapper. It has a thread tension device. We have a couple of tools here. This is another Good Abroad product as a burnishing tool, which you'll get to see what we use, a thread pick, some snips. You can use a simple popsicle stick if you want to, if you don't have the tools, and simple razor blades if you don't have the snips. Thread pick is nice but not necessary. This is one of my personal ones. And, you could use either a braided line for a pull-through loop, you'll get to see that, or you can use the thread. I like this, it's smoother, but not necessary. And then tape is, in case you have a problem and something comes undone, you'll need to retape, and it happens, so just have it ready. Okay, now that we went through all the materials, we're ready to go here. We're going to go ahead and place the rod on our Batson hand wrapper. We have little hair ties. There's these little pegs on the rod supports to help support the hair ties. We're just going to wrap them. There's a couple ways you can do it. I'm going to go over the top. And this just secures the rod so it doesn't fall out. And when you spin it, this one's a little tight. So I'm going to pull this one off. I'm going to bring it on the other side here. And we're just going to do this side too. This is just being safe. Not necessary, but we're going to use it. So now we got a nice spin. And everything's secured. We're going to go ahead and start wrapping now. There's two ways. There's several ways to start your wraps. I'm going to show you how I do it. So I'm going to take the thread, the tag end, I'm going to wrap it over the top, and I'm going to wrap it around. I'm going to form an X. And I'll pull this over so you can see this X. I've wrapped over the top of the main thread now, which is cinching it, and I'm going to spin the rod and bring my hand around the blank and wrapping over it again. So I've wrapped over the X twice now. And I'm going to do it one more time, which is 3 times, and then I can let go. And now this won't come loose anymore. It's a good way, you know, to make it quickly done. As you get better, it happens real quick like that. Try to burnish the threads tight, which means pushing the threads together as close as possible. If it's gapped out, like you'll see it like here, and if you leave it like that, not that it's a problem, the glue will still adhere to it or what have you, but it just cosmetically doesn't look good. Keeping things close and tight does help eliminate some bubbles as the glue goes through, but most of anything is just cosmetic. So I like to wrap over this 5 or 6 times, this tag end here, and then we're going to go ahead and cut it off and remove it. So I like to take my blade and lay it flat on the thread wraps and then pull the tag end over to it. The razor blade usually goes right into it and then cuts it flush. And then you just keep wrapping. And I'm going to wrap this many times as you feel comfortable doing it. Again, this is just a practice wrap. It's not doing anything. And pretend that you have a guide on there and you're just wrapping over the guide. So now what we're going to do is we're going to finish this off. Okay, I like to have a piece of thread that's maybe 5 or 6 inches long. If you want to use the braided line, you could surely use that as well. And you can cut that 5 or 6 inches as well. So whatever you want to use there for your loop, we'll just use thread for now in case you don't have any braid, what have you. So I'm going to put the loop underneath the thread. It's going to look like that. You always want the loop going towards your guide foot or going towards the direction you want to be finishing. So the little tag ends are where you started and the loop's where you want to finish. Then you want to wrap over that 5 or 6 times. 3, 4, 5, and we'll stop right there. Okay, at this point, we're going to go ahead and grab our razor blade. We want to put our finger push down on top. Not too hard, just snug, so that when you cut this down here, it doesn't come unraveled. I'm going to go ahead and put my finger on top, and I'm going to cut down like 5 or 6 inches. And then I'm going to take this little tag end here, and I'm going to put it through my loop. I'm going to grab the end. And now I can take my finger off. I'm holding pressure with this hand. A little tricky. If you don't get it your first try, just try again. I mean, that's why we're doing practice wraps here. So now I'm going to pull this loop from the tag ends till it's snug here, and as soon as it grabs it, I'm going to let go of this other tag end and pull it all the way through. And at this point, we're going to burnish our threads to make sure everything's straight. And we'll go ahead and do another cut off and cut this final tag end off so it looks smooth. And again, I like to lay the blade right on the base wrap, pulling the tag end over, and then cut. And now it's flush. It looks smooth. And even if yours doesn't look this great, it's okay. I mean, your first fishing rod it's just a great experience, and you always get better as you learn.